Hello, my friend, and welcome to Satisfactory, a first-person open-world factory building game with a dash of exploration and combat. It's gorgeous, and this is the alpha weekend. The NDA just dropped, and I have a chance to show it to you and do a little playthrough for you today. So I am going to be live streaming this all weekend if you're watching this when the video first releases, so you can catch me at twitch.tv/Zueljin. The link will be in the description below. But we just dismantled the drop pod that we got into the atmosphere with. And I went ahead and mute the voice because it's a little bit distracting while I'm trying to explain what I'm actually doing. But our objective is pretty much to establish a factory and get some automation going. And the first thing that we're going to have to do is get ourselves protected. So the game has prompted me to equip this little zapper here because there is some wildlife and some of it is hostile. We could go around and gather some of the resources that we see here. We're going to be able to turn leaves and stuff into biomass to burn for fuel. And we can see that I'm collecting all sorts of things, some wood, some leaves. We can scan for resources, and we need to find ore deposits or iron deposits specifically for crafting. So let's go ahead and hit C. And the way that it works is every factory tier that you unlock, you start unlocking more and more resources, the ability to discover resources, and all sorts of factory equipment. There's some of the creatures that I was talking about just right there. They are extremely alert. So we're going to take on one at a time here. We zapped it. Okay, we're getting a little bit of choppiness, just a little bit. I'm playing with everything on ultra, so if that continues to be a problem, we'll lower that down. But I wanted you to see how gorgeous the game is. So the first thing that we need to do, like I said, is get iron, and when I hit C, you'll see that at the top where my compass is at, it'll show where iron nodes are. So let's go ahead and travel to one of the closest ones, picking up some stuff on the way. The barrel nuts, it says the consumable possesses minor healing properties. Further analysis required, but we need some more scanning equipment to be able to do that effectively, I believe. Let's go ahead and run down here, gathering some stuff as we go. And there's another one of these guys. Dang it, they move very fast too. So do I, though. You hear a little beep beep. And they drop some alien carapace as well. Alrighty. So we have taken some health damage here. I'm pretty sure that if we just open up our inventory... Oh, that just splits the barrel nuts, okay. That just... okay. So let's see. If we put that into our hand, for instance, we can eat it and refill our health. Okay, pretty simple. Let's go ahead and put this back in. And where was that iron node? 104 away, and it looks to be on top of that little hill there. So let's go around. I'm going to pick up some of this stuff. All right, I think we found the iron. And we found some more hostiles. Come on, big boy. Come on, big boy. Oh my god. You are so fast. He's like got the streaks going and stuff too. Dude, they bounced me. I guess the planet gravity is a little bit... Yeah, it looks like it. Just a little bit light. Okay, so... They keep distracting us. There's the iron. So these are iron nodes, and you can go up to them and just hit E. And from the bottom here, you get just a little bit of impure iron, but this is pure iron, and we get a little bit more. And we're going to be able to get these mined automatically after a little while. But right now, it says it wants us to build a hub on spacious open terrain close to the presence of iron resources. And while these iron resources are right here, I don't think that we have a real open spot to build here. Let's see. It's a little bit It's a little bit curvy, huh? Let's see if we can find some more iron. This place looks more like it. There's a couple of iron nodes here, so I should be able to use this spot pretty effectively. The hub is pretty big. If we go into the build menu here, you'll see that we can select the hub and it opens up quite spaciously. Let's go ahead and start it here. There we go. All right. So the hub is built, and our next objective is to upgrade the hub. So if we open up the hub terminal, you'll see that there's a tier 0 available where the hub upgrade 1 comes up, and it opens up all of these beautiful things that gives us upgrades. All right. Uh-oh. I hear a bad guy. Man, can't you just give it a rest, dude? I ate all my barrel nuts already, but I'll take your carapace. At least you give me something in return for the trouble. Okay, so if we go back to this, and you'll see that the milestone cost is 10 iron rods. So let's open up our craft bench, and we can create iron ingots from the raw iron that we got. You could hover over anything the entire time, and you just hold craft. Okay, we got enough for the iron rods now. Let's go ahead and make those. And we can unlock this milestone now. Select milestone, and it's going to prompt us to fill in the ingredients, and bam, hub upgrade 1. And you can see that we got a couple new things here. E to configure the biomass burner. So we're going to be able to take some of that and take some of that stuff that we got and fuel it. There's also a little personal storage box here, and it says new equipment, buildings, and blueprints, which can be found in the workshop when built, the build menu, and craft respectively. There's actually voiceover for all of this as well, but it gets a little disruptive at the beginning. So connect buildings to a generator for power. Buildings such as the smelter require a blueprint to be set. So we can go to build menu right here, and you can see that we have the equipment workshop. We can build a craft bench somewhere else, but the equipment workshop is what we want. So we can set the equipment workshop anywhere here, and it's going to require 6 iron bars and 6 iron ingots. So let's just make some more of those resources really quickly. Now we'll go ahead and set the building down. We'll do equipment workshop, and boom. We could set it down right here. Let's put it pretty close. Beautiful. And we can always just walk out of it right here, you know. We can go straight through if we like. Okay, the equipment workshop is ready to go. Now we can go into the equipment workshop and see that we can make a portable miner. Portable miner is going to take a few different things. One of those things is going to be copper, wire, and cable. And we're going to need to go grab some copper in order to do that. So now that we've actually unlocked the tier, let's go ahead and hit C. And if we hold C, you'll see that we can actually select for copper ore instead. And the copper ore nodes will come up on the map just like the iron nodes did. And all we have to do is go and find them. All right, we're approaching a copper node. There it is. Has a little bit of a different shape and coloration. We'll go ahead and defend ourselves from the freaking alien that just came out. Yeah. Did he just fall off the cliff? You stupid alien dog. All right, let's go ahead and grab some copper. So I grabbed a bunch of copper. I made a bunch of copper ingots, some wire, and I'm going to make some cable here. And that'll give me the ability to do what I need to do here at the bench and make these portable miners. So you can see it takes the iron plates, the wire, and the cable. Let's go ahead and craft one. All right, now we just set down the portable miner after equipping it. Just like that. It opens up and it's going to start doing its thing. It got a little dark on me. And there it goes. So now it's going to start mining iron passively. Now, it actually only holds a certain amount of iron. 100 to be exact. But as soon as it finishes, it'll just keep storing it. You can just come back and visit anytime you need. So we have to craft a few other things, but now that we have the setup that we need to move forward, all we have to do now is make a few more iron plates, and we'll be able to unlock the hub upgrade too, which is going to give us access to quite a bit of other stuff. We got our plates made, our hub upgrade. We'll select milestone and drag in what we need. So here is the, oh, actually it's the wire and the rods and the plates. And now we upgrade. Ooh, fancy. Look at this. Caution, area under construction. So now we're good, set up, man. So now we can do stone scanning because of the new buildings and blueprints are going to need some limestone. And we'll be able to do an upgrade for conveyor belts next time. And this hub upgrade is going to unlock a ton of different stuff. Foundations, conveyor poles, ramps, all sorts of things for base building and biomass. So if we show the milestone here, we'll need iron plates. We also need concrete and reinforced iron plates. The reinforced iron plates take regular iron plates and they take screws. And screws are made with iron rods. So you can see how manually crafting this stuff gets pretty crazy and tedious, but that's where the automation comes in. Concrete is going to take a little bit of limestone, so we have to find some of that. So once again, if we go to scanner and hold it, now that it's unlocked, we can see where limestone is going to be, and there's some that's just right there. Let's go grab it. Pretty much the same thing. It's its own node. It's got a pure part of it as well as the rest of it that's around it. And we can set miners for this stuff too, which we will do. All right, we just got 99 limestone, and check this out. If we pass over by the miner that we set down earlier, we can open it up and it's full. So we pick up the iron ore and it's going to start mining right back again. Pretty cool. We're getting somewhere. So the first step in automation is actually going to be to start smelting ingots. That way we can put together constructors to make things like the plates and the rods and the screws. So if we go to the build menu here and we'll go to smelter, the smelter sits down right here. Now you can see there's an entry port and an exit port, and that's where we're going to have conveyors sooner or later. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is set this up to where we'll be able to facilitate adding ore to this sooner or later with miners. We don't have that set up right now, but we do want to aim it to where we can kind of put it close. So I'm actually going to set this a little bit closer to the metal node here. Alrighty. And the constructors are kind of the same thing. The constructors, we're going to have iron ingots coming through here, right? So if we put a constructor here, for instance, we can make it go to plates, and those ingots would turn into plates in there, but we need a little bit more materials first. So using some reinforced iron plates, we can make the constructor now, and now that we have that set up, we can put it directly in line if we want to. But think about this. We're going to be getting some ingots in, and we're going to want them to produce multiple things, not just plates. Plates are going to be first for sure, but there'll be some things that we want to do without just going into plates. So we're going to go ahead and spread this out a little bit further. That way we can split a conveyor belt if we need to. Now we have a constructor set up and we have a smelter set up. If we go over to the smelter, we can configure it, and we can configure it to make either iron or copper ingots. You can see that we can throw in just the iron that we've gotten, and it's going to load up. It says 30 per minute, but we don't have any power to it. So now comes the biomass burner. If we go over to the biomass burner, we can see that there's no connection set up right now. We can throw in some of the leaves that we've been collecting, and it's going to produce 20 megawatts over every 0.75 seconds. We can make it stand by if we like with the switch, which is almost the same for any other of the crafting resources or factory parts. And we need to make power now. So in our hotbar, we have a power tool that we can set up to make power lines. So the first thing that we want to do is connect this or that to the biomass burner, but we're gonna have a limitation. So if we just put the power line from here, do you see this pole that sets up? It's going to ask us for a concrete slab, which we don't have. We can find that out just by going into the crafting menu. But what I want to do here is actually put together the concrete so that we can do the power pole. So let's take a look. It should just be the limestone that we have. We'll go to concrete. We'll make a couple of poles. And, well, we'll make a couple of concrete blocks here. And we'll set the poles up. So we'll go to build menu. And we'll select power pole, and we'll throw one down right here. Okay, so there we go. So we can imagine that there's going to be many different things right here. So we're going to leave a connection open for the meantime. But as far as power lines go now, we can connect this to the power line. And the power line, it shows that it can connect from here to here now. All right. And we can connect this to this as well. Boom. All right. So you see how it says 3 of 4? Now, in order to spread this any further, what we're going to need to do is make another power line pole. We don't need it right now, so we're going to avoid doing that. But you have to be able to manage this. And these actually take extra power too. So you kind of have to watch how much you've built in so far. But we're smelting, ladies and gentlemen. We're smelting. We take a look here. Our iron ore is getting done. So we can come over here to the miner that we already have. We can't fully automate this yet, but it's starting to get there. Let's go ahead and dump in the iron ore that we've gotten. And it's going to continue to smelt that. And we can come over here to the constructor, and all of the iron plates that we want to make are going to require ingots. So we can put ingots in here, and it's going to start producing them. Now we don't have to manually craft the iron plates. This constructor will do it for us. The next job is probably going to get to make rods so that we can actually put together screws for the reinforced plates and get a little bit more automation going. So now it's time to set up a second constructor in order to do rods. And we already have the plates that are making, so the ingots feed into 2 constructors here. It's eventually. So let's go ahead and put that together. We'll go constructor and we'll set it down right here. We have to make sure that the input is there. Yeah, that looks good. We can also stack them, I do believe. Maybe not. You can stack some stuff. I saw that. Maybe storage. Okay, so we have the other constructor set up. Now, this constructor is going to take ingots directly from here, eventually. And these ingots are going to feed into rods. There we go. Iron ingots in there. And now it'll produce it as long as we give it power. Now remember, we still are capped out right here. So if we make another pole, then it'll be a little bit better. So what we can do is let's go to our deconstruct menu. We'll take down the power line. And we'll take down this power line. And we'll make this a little bit more efficient by grabbing a pole. And we'll set the pole. Actually, let's set it right here. And it'll feed this entire setup here. Just put it here. All right, so now this has link ups available for it. We'll go ahead and put this, and now we can connect this pole to here, this pole to here, and this pole to here. All right, so it's set up, and we still have 3 feeds left on this bad boy. So now everything has power. The biomass burner is still burning, and we're producing everything that we need in order to put together reinforced plates manually right now. So remember how I said I was going to put other mining operations down? Right now we're going to put another portable miner here, and we already put one on the limestone. That way when we come up here, we'll already have some copper waiting for us. Now it's time to upgrade the hub. So I should have enough iron plates to do this all together for the hub upgrade. And it looks like we have everything. The reinforced iron plates, the concrete, the cable, and the plates. Let's add them all in. Reinforce goes here. Concrete goes here. Cable goes here. And we upgrade. Boom, baby. So much new stuff available now. So now we have conveyors available, which are amazing, but our setup doesn't include conveyor splitters yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to build another smelter really quick. We have the iron ore to be able to go with it. You know, we have plenty of it that we get. So we're just going to line it up, and later on we can always take this down for a little bit more efficiency. Now, the really cool thing is that we can feed these conveyors all through these guys, and the way to do that is relatively simple. We go ahead and select the conveyor belt. You can select it from the build menu under logistics. You set conveyor belt. There's also conveyor poles so that they can be connecting conveyor belts in different ways, but all we want to do basically is set up the conveyor belt. We're gonna start it, and look, you can add curves, y'all. You can do anything. It's crazy. We're gonna go ahead and set that up to here, and you'll be able to see that the iron ingots just start going into production of plates immediately. Now, we're gonna want to do the same thing with here, but I don't know if we have enough power. We're gonna try. Let's take this and connect this, and nothing shut down. All right, good deal. Let's take a conveyor belt now and set it up to this, and there we go. So when we start loading this puppy up, it's going to start producing rods for us, and now we have a little bit more automation than we did before. So the smelter gets the ingots. We're gonna need a copper smelter anyway, so it should be fine. We can always branch this off later. And right now we're just going to take the pure iron, and it's gonna start smelting up, and then it'll start moving the ingots into rod production. So now we have the automation. All we have to do is mine stuff, and it looks like we just lost power. You can see all the red blinking lights that went off. It looks like our power situation is down. So we burnt through all of our leaves. In order to make this a little bit more efficient, you can turn our leaves into biomass blocks. Yes, you can also produce this, but right now we need some wood to be able to do that, and I think all I did is pull that out early and put it into storage. Let's go ahead and craft biomass, and the biomass burns quite a bit slower is what you'll notice. It also takes up most of that wood really quick. But to put it in perspective, let's open up this and put the leaves in, okay? So the leaves, you can see that that meter burns pretty darn quick, right? So the biomass blocks, there we go. Look at that. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about, baby. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So we're back online. We're producing everything that we need. And we have enough power for this constructor that I set up as well. And this is for screws. So we can take the rods and move them to screws. Just like this. And if we ever wanted to stop this production of screws, right? Let's just say that. We can take this and just go on standby. Now you can see that the conveyor belts stop. Also, you can just pick up these iron. You can just pick up the iron right from there if you need to, if you need some extra. But anyway, we don't want it to stop right now because we do want to be able to produce screws so that we can put reinforced iron plates together. And if we take a quick look at our hub upgrade to 4, you'll see that we'll have a miner that we can set up for full automation. There's also storage containers too, so we can do something like store those screws. First thing that we really need to do is put together all of the stuff to actually upgrade. So we're ready for the upgrade. We'll select milestone, throw these in. Y'all know how this works by now. Let's go ahead and put the concrete in, the iron rods in, and the iron plates. There we go. The hub is starting to look excellent. Very cool. Our player's storage is upgraded. Congratulations, you've unlocked the hub feature. Additional biomass generators, new buildings, which can be found in the build menu. And most importantly, we can make the miner. The miner sits here and can actually feed a conveyor, right? So we need a few things before we put this together. One of the great things is, let's go ahead and pull this sucker up, and we can pick it up right now as well. There we go, and it's going to act as a crafting component. So we'll go back to the build menu, and the miner is going to take a few blocks of concrete as well as the rods, and it's going to cost some power. Well, guess what? The hub gave us another biomass burner. So we can take our biomass right here. Let's just go ahead and split the stack. And we'll go ahead and set that up. And now we have 2 biomass burners online, which is great. So we can link this. We can't link it directly, but we can link it to this power line. And that is going to put 2 inputs on it, but it's going to give plenty of power to the network that we currently have set up. So the only thing left to do is create a little bit of concrete. And we should just be able to put the miner together. All right, so let's set the miner up. It's going to build that up. Aha. Very, very cool. Let's go ahead and connect it with power. We're going to have to connect it with, probably with this one. Oh, we're missing cable for that. Okay, no problem. We can grab a little bit of cable. Let's go ahead and produce a few wire. There we go. And now we have cable. Beautiful. And we still have this that we can connect. So I'll tell you what we're going to do here. I think we're going to make yet another power line. Power pole. We're missing some wire. Okay, let's go ahead and set up a pole here. And what we're going to do is deconstruct. Let's deconstruct this power line and hook it, this biomass burner, directly to here. So we have a couple different ones. Actually, what we could do, make it a little bit more organized, right? Put the pole right next to him. Then we know what's what. So I think this will work out fine. This power line goes to here now. And these can run our miners. There we go. So the miner's operational now. We go into logistics, open up the conveyor belt. Looks like we're gonna be missing a few materials. All it needs is iron plates. Guess what we have a ton of. Alright, with a few iron plates in hand, we hook up the conveyor belt, and we're going to make it feed into this one right now. We do want rods eventually, but the bad thing right now is that we don't have 2 of these miners. I can set one up here, so maybe that's what we'll do. Let's see. Alrighty. So, miner. We'll set it up. There we go. Let's get this puppy powered. Okay. Now, let's deconstruct this. I don't know exactly how this works. If we deconstruct it, do we lose all of this iron? No, it looks like we got a bunch of the raw iron back. Okay, very cool. Let's set this conveyor belt up to here. It's a little crooked, but hey. And boom. So now we have something very, very beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. Automation. We have the mining of ore happening automatically, going into smelters to create ingots. The ingots are being created. The ingots are turning into iron plates on this side, and they're turning into iron rods on this side. And the production of the iron rods continue on to screws if we so choose. I think we've made a heck of a success. There's tons of different things that we can add as well, like the concrete going into... There's tons of other things that we can add as well, like the limestone turning into concrete and feeding into being able to make electric poles with that. We can do the copper that we would have to feed and run power all the way back to be able to produce wire and cable, and bunches of more organization to come. There's also a tier hub upgrade 5, which gives us something called a space elevator, a secondary biomass burner that we can plant for just such an operation that we just talked about, and more inventory slots. Everything after that is going to be unavailable in alpha, but we're going to be in early access really soon, so I can't wait. If you guys want to see me play more of this, check out the stream that I'm going to be doing here on twitch.tv/Zueljin in a couple hours, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks so much for watching, guys. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time.